Welcome. Joe Volpe, publisher of the Corriere Canadese, North America's only Italian language daily newspaper, on behalf of GOliveTV, Corriere Media Group, and obviously for Corriere Canadese, with the comment of the day. And as always, or as increasingly, it's about immigration in Canada. It's going to be a harsh topic, and you'll see right now that it really is about Minister Hussen, court jester. Now, Ahmed Hussen must be looking around for a guardian angel. He's approaching the ridicule-inspiring levels of incompetence attained by Jason Kenney, former Minister of Immigration in the Harper government. The Corriere likened his immigration plan to one made by cartoonists working in the Walt Disney Corporation, and he as its Mickey Mouse. There's only one person only in the entire country thought he had the cranial capacity to do his job. Now, that would be the former publisher of the National Post, former Lord of the British Parliament, an immensely accomplished individual culturally and financially. However, Conrad Black had chosen to relinquish his Canadian citizenship in order to receive that appointment to the House of Lords. After he was convicted of felonious conduct in the U.S. courts, he lost his lordship and his Canadian citizenship was no longer available to him. He became a man without a country, a criminal alien, so to speak. A cultured one, to be sure, but ineligible for entry in Canada. And he wanted back in. Enter Minister Jason Kenney, busy keeping out Italians, Poles, Portuguese, and other Southern European types because of their unacceptable command of the Queen's English. He convinced himself that it was okay to make an exception for a convicted felon. Thus was born the Black-Kenney love affair, a mutual adoration society. Ahmed Hussen seems to have picked up where Kenney left off. If there's someone in the land who can make rhyme or reason from any of his initiatives, statements, or plans, she or he should step forward. Initially, Mr. Hussen endorsed the pilot project for regularizing undocumented workers in Ontario, in all of Canada, announced by John McCallum, his immediate predecessor. Then he strategically set it aside, earning him and his government a lawsuit. Then, on October the 3rd, the pilot project was re-announced in a most circumspect fashion as Motion 190, instructing the House Standing Committee on Human Resources to study the causes, consequences, and explore solutions of this irregular, undocumented worker phenomenon. It's already been studied to death. He could save his government time and money. There are many studies available. In fact, he could call us at the Corriere and we'll make them available to him free of charge in the interest of good public policy. His Atlantic pilot project on immigration, which bears a striking similarity to the age-old hidden subsidies for non-existent industrial diversification, have been recently stamped as scams by the very people they are designed to help. In fact, the Canadian Border Service Agency, for which his cabinet colleague Ralph Goodale is minister, caused the shutting down of the provincial nominee program in PEI. The program in New Brunswick is under similar scrutiny, but that's a story for another article. As a diversionary tactic, for it serves no other purpose, Hussen announced the extension of his formerly tabled parliamentary 5-year program by 1 more year. The avowed aim was to be able to bring in 7,500 more refugees 4 years from now, all statistical estimates remaining unaltered. His department, meanwhile, admitted on its website that it cannot process the current number of immigration and or refugee applications. You starting to scratch your head? Over in Quebec, the governments have been very aggressive in banking financial benefits from their handling of the immigration program. Now, the newly elected CAQ government has threatened to subject immigrants to a French language competency test 3 years after these people have been landed. Those that don't meet the standard will be deported. To where? By the way, just to be clear and to clear up any confusion, any monies forwarded by those immigrants or invested by them as part of their application stays in Quebec. What's Hussen's response? To allocate a further $11 million for the better integration of Francophone immigrants into the Canadian economy and to give them an opportunity to work in French. Presumably, these Francophone immigrants were specifically recruited for their French language skills. And they should find it easier to work in a French language work environment. But maybe there are fewer of those jobs than Hussen knows. The Francophone immigrants are, by his own assessment, from Haiti, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Arab Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Lebanon, or Syria, where the language of instruction typically is French from grade 1 onward. Now, we're all God's children. There should be room for all of us. Minister Hussen seems to have forgotten about the children of the undocumented workers who are already working and integrated. They are only missing the benefit of status, i.e., the designation of permanent resident. It will not cost the federal government anything to stop the clowning around and to address that injustice. Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese, GOliveTV, Corcan Media Group, inviting you to join us on social media and, of course, on Corriere Canadese. Please stay tuned for the commentary in Portuguese and in Italian.